So when most people hear nutrition, they think food. They think macros, they think what to eat, what not to eat, counting calories, sugar, fat, all that kind of stuff. But when we talk about integrated nutrition, we're not just talking about food. We're talking your environment, your relationships, your stress levels, your career, your identity, and those transitions. And if you're a woman navigating change, this matters. So today I wanted to sit down and talk with you about what integrative nutrition actually means and why it can be so powerful in our seasons of transition. Last week I was laid off at 32, and it has brought me to my knees of sitting down and confronting everything within myself. What am I without this previous job title? Who am I now that that job has just disappeared? This goes past physical, and that question isn't just emotional, it's health related, down to the very core. Why, you may ask? Why? Stress, nervous system, digestion, lack of sleep, anxiety. Stress is gonna impact that digestion. You're not really breaking down your food. Your body's not getting all the nutrition that it actually needs. Losing that bit of identity shakes up your nervous system. You feel unstable. I'm already a girly dealing with some kind of nervous system issue, so this is really important to me to keep my nervous system calm and regulated. Over anxiety, over worrying, over stress is affecting sleep. Losing sleep is terrible for me, and it leads to burnout. And what does burnout affect? Hormones. Okay, and already girly pop is trying to keep her hormones in check so that nervous system can stay in check. Okay, do you see this big circle? It's vicious, it's a cycle. Everything affects everything, which is why integrative nutrition is so important. It's not just talking about your diet. It's not just talking about your mental. It's not just talking about your stress. It's talking about every single thing in your life that is possibly more important than food. Food is secondary compared to all of this other stuff happening in your life. And this is exactly why I studied to train through holistic health and integrative nutrition. And like I said in the last video, I trained at the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. You'll be hearing me call it IIN because it's just much easier to say. And what drew me there was that your health and your nutrition isn't just about diet. It's about literally everything in your life and how that affects you and impacts you. And that is such a hot take. As a society, we are so focused on what am I eating and what am I consuming? But like, what is your stress looking like? What is your sleep looking like? What is your environment looking like? How is your creativity? It's a lot. Integrative nutrition is so interesting because it looks at the person as a whole, not just what's on your plate. Food, like I said earlier, is secondary. Your home environment, your career, your relationships, your sense of purpose, all of this feeds you just as much as food does. So when your career shifts or your life pivots, it comes down to a nutritional conversation that needs to be had, honored, and met. One of the incredible things I loved learning at IIN was this pillar of bio-individuality, that no one diet works for anybody. And I just love that because everybody's body is so different and everybody responds to different things differently. Everybody needs something different. And that feels so validating and so reassuring that there's answers out there for you. But you also have to be real with yourself. What nourished you at 25 might not nourish you when you're 32. You gotta think about, like we've been talking about, stress hormones, pivots in life, any other like late life kind of changes. You know what I'm trying to say. But this whole integration part of it is that you don't strictly cut everything out. You learn to integrate the new into your life, and it's much more seamless. The stress of change isn't there anymore. It's kind of just having one of those real conversations with yourself and saying, hey, what's out of alignment? What can we start to slowly introduce and bring that back into alignment versus cut everything out, change everything, and start new? That can be scary. Okay, very real. That can be very scary. So this integrating slowly really makes it feel much more of a natural change and helps your nervous system stay calm and regulated throughout these changes. If you're changing careers, becoming a mom, navigating burnout, grieving a version of yourself, or rebuilding after a life pivot, your body is gonna feel that. You might not think it, but your body's gonna store that, it's gonna feel it, and it might hold on to it if you don't pay attention. And the whole point is not to hold on to all of this stuff because it causes stress in the body. And we got to get rid of the stress. We got to keep our cortisol levels down. Yes, we got to keep our nervous system and those hormones happy. So if you're only focusing on green smoothies and workouts and your macros, you're kind of missing the bigger picture. Yes, you're taking care of one portion of it, but what's happening with the rest of life? You know, you're going to pay so much attention here, you're going to take attention from other parts of your life, you know? Don't let it be a soul sucker. Pay attention to everything, you know? So on this channel, our integrative nutrition is gonna look like rebuilding routines after identity shifts, nervous system support during change, simple food practices to support that hormone balance, conversations about purpose, not just protein, and gentle structure, not restriction. Integration. This is not about being perfect. This is not about being most aligned, healthy, aesthetic, clean, girly in the room. This is about coming back to your alignment within your body, within your mind, within your life, outside of you, everything to come into alignment. You don't need to overhaul your whole entire life to start healing, and I feel like that's where people get tripped up. They feel scared because they have to make all of these changes at once, but that's where integrated nutrition is so interesting. You don't have to overhaul all at once. Sometimes you just gotta zoom out and ask, what's feeding me right now? What's giving me life? What do I find myself in alignment with? But if you're also asking yourself if you're in that season of transition too, then stick around. I'm so glad you're here. We're gonna be diving deeper into these topics as the weeks come along. We're going back to school in March, so definitely stick around. So if you want to explore integrative health, holistic living, and nutrition, we're practicing this in real life. We're not just keeping it a theory. I'm here to hold your hand, you're here to hold my hand, and I'll see you in the next video. Toodles.